In this video, I'm going to show you how to go about creating a filter to use and reuse for your rollup settings. This is all done and made possible via Rollup Helper, powered by Passage Technology. With Rollup Helper, you have the ability to create rollup settings. And in the previous video, we had created a rollup setting to roll up the total closed won opportunity amounts for each opportunity on an account, and so we could have a field on the account page that shows that. Um, and one of the things that we have to do is make sure that we don't include opportunities that are still in the pipeline that are not closed or closed lost opportunities. We just want to focus on opportunities that were won essentially. So that's all we care about rolling up to the account page. Um, and what I wanted to show you is how you can go about applying filters, which really will hone in on the specific um, source objects and the child records that you want to roll up. So what you can do is if you scroll down and you find your roll up here, you'll see if there's any conditions applied. So this is how you know if there already is any kind of a criteria upon which you're rolling up your field. So in this case, we don't see anything. So we're going to go ahead and create our first filter for this existing rollup. So to do that, you click the edit link. And from the edit link, you'll be landing on step 3 of the Rollup Helper Wizard, which allows you to pick your source field, in this case amount, and you can see that we have the select type of sum. But you can also see down here that there is optionally an ability to add a custom filter. So you can go and select an existing filter, which would be any filter that you've already created that is associated with this source object, which in this case is opportunity. And you can also go about creating a new filter. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to create a new filter. So I'm going to click on that link. And I can name my filters. From this page, I have full control over the definition of a filter that I can apply to multiple rollups. So I'm going to go ahead and just call this one Close Won Opportunities. There is a limit to records field, which you can leave blank by default. But also what that field does, just to give you a quick primer on this, we'll probably cover this in a more detailed video later on regarding sorting. But basically, if you only wanted a certain number of records to be processed in a rollup, you could do that with this. So let's say you were looking for top 10 opportunities, you could do that based on a sort and a limit of number of records. So in this case, we're just going to leave it blank. We want it to process all the related opportunities for a given account. And I'm going to skip past step 2, which allows you to specify sort order. So in the previous example, when I was explaining limit to number of records, you could, in theory, sort on the amount from descending to ascending order, or from highest to lowest amount, to get you your top 10 opportunities based on deal size. But in this example, we're going to skip past the more advanced sorting options here of your rollup filtering, and we're going to actually pick a field to filter on. So you can filter on fields directly on the opportunity object, or you can actually filter on related cross objects or parent objects. So in this case, because opportunities are related to accounts, I can also filter on account information, and you can see all the account information in the box to the right. Or I might filter on anything else, like the primary campaign that this opportunity was affiliated with, or any other information, the creator, the creating user, etc. So what we're really keen to filter out here is whether an opportunity was won or not. So that's a really simple filter to apply. You just select the one field and you just select equals. And you can also select not equals to. And there's other options or operators that are available depending on the type of field that you want. So you can select equals and go ahead and type true. And this would be applicable for any checkbox true, false, Boolean field. And you just simply click add. And what that'll do is it'll add the criteria to your existing criteria that you have for opportunities. By default, we always add a filter criteria to filter out any records that were soft deleted. But if you wanted to, you could remove that filter and also count records that were deleted in your rollups. And you also see that there's a filter preview here, which will show you the where clause of the SOQL query that we use to do your rollups upon. If you don't have any additional filter criteria, you could just click Save here. If you wanted to add additional ones, you can go through the process and select additional ones. Just a quick a reminder, if you want to do a filter with multiple conditions where it's a pick list field, you can do that. You can select a pick list field and then do a comma delimited list without spaces of your values. So let's say you had a color pick list field and it had the options red, blue, green in there, and you only wanted to include child records where it was red or blue. You would just simply type in red, comma, blue in the value or the criteria that you're comparing against, and equals as the operator, and then that would get you into that generating that type of SQL query. But that's kind of a more advanced filtering capability. If you can't do it through the standard filter criteria user interface, we'll be making improvements over time to make it more refined, and you can also use formula fields as well to source specific values that would indicate true or false if the filter criteria based in Rollup isn't sufficient. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and click Save because all we wanted to do is just be able to isolate one opportunities. And you'll see here that the selected filter is set up as close one opportunities. Before that was blank. You could go back and edit your filter or create a new filter if you wanted to. In this case, we're just going to click Save. When you do that, you've basically associated that filter that you created with this rollup, and you'll see on the rollups tab that your rollup now has the close one opportunities condition, which you can always click into here to get back to the define filter page where you can actually go back and edit your criteria if you wanted to by removing the specific condition and reapplying it, or adding a new condition, or removing any unnecessary conditions. If you want to delete the filter, you can click delete here as well. That'll also remove it from any existing rollup settings that may have already been associated with this filter. But if I go back to the all rollup settings view, I also wanted to show you one more thing here, which is if you want to make sure that your conditions are applied correctly, the one thing you can do is preview your SQL query to kind of see what Rollup Helper will select when it does run. So if you actually click Edit next to a rollup that you want to test the query against, if you click Edit here, you'll see a query preview, which is going to include basically the field that you're rolling up, in this case amount, and basically the child relationship field that we're using to link that child record to the parent record, and then from the source object, and then you also will see the SQL that we use. So I'm going to actually select this this query preview statement because I want to go into the developer console by clicking my name and going into the developer console, and I can actually copy and paste that SQL into the query editor pane here, and I can click execute, and what that'll actually do is it'll run the SQL query, and you'll actually show you that it is selecting some records in your database, in this case opportunity records. It's going to show you the amounts and to show you the parent or the target object record that you're actually rolling up values to. So this is a good way of just auditing that it is going to select records that you haven't overly applied or used incorrect criteria for your rollups. It's just a way of testing what the system's going to do before it actually runs. So it's a really helpful and kind of an advanced feature for those that haven't used the developer console, but we're very happy to report that a lot of people have expressed a lot of usage of this and being able to make sure that they have the correct rollup definition. So with that, I look forward to hearing from you about what your next rollup use case is, and look forward to hearing if you have any questions about Rollup Helper.